Hey everyone. So I was trying to think of, what I do for a talent. So I decided to do something that could potentially be used as two different talents, singing and memorization. That way, if I, failed at the singing, I at least have the memorization part. And if I messed up on the memorization part, I'd at least have the singing as my talent. And then if I messed up on both, well, what kind of talent show would it be without someone who'd come up who thinks they have talent but don't? So. But what I'm going to be doing is it's called Matthew's Begets. Andrew Peterson, he did the song, but he actually took it from the first chapter of the book of Matthew. And if you're like me, you're probably not too familiar with that first part because it's something you probably kind of skimmed over because it's a genealogy. But again, it's Matthew, he's writing this book to the Jews, and he's wanting to point to the fact that Jesus is the promised Messiah. So he starts off with his book with a genealogy, pretty much showing them that Jesus is in fact a descendant of David. Well, Andrew Peterson, I don't know what kind of got into his mind to make a song about this, but it actually is a good way to memorize them if you ever want to. But this one's totally a cappella, and I'm totally just doing this for fun, so hopefully you guys enjoy. So, Abraham had Isaac, Isaac he had Jacob, Jacob he had Judah and his kin. Well, then Perez and Zerah came from Judah's woman Tamar. Perez he brought Hezron up, and then came Aram and Aminadab and Nahshon, who was then the dad of Salmon, who with Rahab fathered Boaz. Ruth she married Boaz, who had Obed, who had Jesse. Jesse he had David, who we know as king. Well, David he had Solomon by dead Uriah's wife. Solomon, well, you all know him, he had good old Rehoboam, followed by Abijah, who had Asa. Asa had Jehoshaphat, had Joram, had Uzziah, who had Jotham, then Ahaz and Hezekiah. Followed by Manasseh, who had Amon, who was a man who was father of a good boy named Josiah, who grandfathered Jehoiakim, who caused the Babylonian captivity because he was a liar. Then he had Shealtiel, who begot Zerubbabel, who had Abiud, who had Eliakim. Eliakim had Azer, who had Zadok, who had Achim. Achim was the father of Eliud then. Eliud then. He had Eleazar, who had Mathan, who had Jacob. Now listen very closely. I don't want to sing this twice. Jacob was the father of Joseph, husband of Mary, mother of Christ.